There is no greater personal responsibility than that comes with understanding everything is nothing. We are all one. We are the universe within. I am everything and you are everything. The Isness. What does this mean if I am everything? I have manifested myself. You over there is what I chose to be in another, and the reason I can look at myself. I've allowed myself to be projected in various forms as time allows me to do, and time allows me to interact with myself in various forms. History allows us to view ourselves from a different time, to decide what it is in relation to that. Like a deck of cards, one card cannot compare itself. It will never ever know itself. If it is on a search to know itself, it never will, because there is no longer a reference. At what point am I everything, so I may know myself? I am something that gained traction. The everything was one unit, and then there was another unit. I was and I was not created. I am and I am not at the same time. It is what it is unless it isn't. Even then, it still is. The is not still has an element of isness. That which many believe should not be is simply an experience that the universe is having through us and guiding us toward more of what we would prefer to experience, if that is what we choose to move toward. Yet, without the experience of what one may label undesirable, there may be no way to know experientially what it is one would prefer. To feel sick, one need not be well. Everyone and everything is contributing and expressing an action that requires acknowledgement to be moved through and changed. Having gratitude and respect for all aspects of existence and addressing issues from a place of love, not judgment or alienation, is the way to change the imbalance of darkness to light. The Isness is pure consciousness. We are the Isness in that moment and every moment, and this is where we are projected from. The space where it all began and never began, where we are constantly returning, where there truly is no thing, no entanglement, no layer upon layer that needs to be broken down. We have done all the layering and entangling. It is not complex at all. It is a space of feeling nothing and being nothing. The existence of this space said, I choose to feel something, anything, and that is why everything is okay. From this vantage point, you cannot find the origin of existence due to expansion. If it never ends, it didn't start. Because it didn't know what it was, how will it ever know what it is? If it is constantly expanding and becoming aware, then there is no point at which it can define itself as to what it is. And it cannot go backwards, because all of it, the multiple units, does not see itself as simply one unit again. At multiple points along the journey, it can stop to measure itself, but at no point is it ever the same weight at any of these points, because there is nothing it can measure itself against. Time is essential to this journey. The everything is always the everything. It is simply time that allows it to view itself at any point, but at no point it is ever constant or definable. In the beginning, there was one unit made up of two parts. The unit exists because of the inner duality, but the unit cannot be broken down beyond itself, and the duality does not exist without the unit. The duo of units is also an entity measuring itself against the others of the past. Unit 1 has nothing as a reference to understand itself. Unit 2 decided it was X because it measured itself against Unit 3 and Unit 1. Unit 3 decided it was Y because it measured itself against Unit 2 and Unit 1. If we apply the theory of energy units, multiplying as time passes and energy continues to expand, then it makes sense. Energy, mass, grows as experiences unfold. Love, this moment, the now, is the only moment where balance exists, the now, the present. Shifting sands make up the molecules. Not only are the sands constantly shifting, there is never a constant number. They are always multiplying. The universal energy feeds itself. There is no turning it off. Its growth feeds itself for us. There was a when, a beginning, however not as we can define. We as humans are trying to measure the immeasurable. By putting time on the isness, we give a boundary to the boundless, limits to the limitless, and you cannot put a cage around a free spirit. So, the way the thing defines itself is, always was, always is, and always will be. Because it cannot and will not fit into a time perspective. If it did, it would not be what it is. The moment it saw itself as the all, the everything, was the moment it became conscious. Creation could not know itself until it could see itself. It was not aware of itself until it could know itself. We are the mirror of creation. We are the eye looking at itself, and the moment it could see itself, it became aware. Acceptance and allowance of everything that is and will be, which we already are and were, our natural vibration. The reason enlightened thinkers and teachers are here is to help create the balance and help people who are not in vibration with home, which is the isness, to help bring them back to their original vibration, to bring them home. The isness wants to once again hold and feel itself complete as it did before it dispersed. Even though everything is all parts of itself, it misses itself, just as we, as existence, are all one, yet scattered all throughout the universe. Miss certain people, heads, places. Existence and the desire for existence explains the reason for all of this in the first place. Everything needs to be so that everything can not be. Everything is nothing, and that is all.